Joining me here on the Mercedes-Benz Vans hotline in the middle of a very busy week with a huge Monday night game against the Los Angeles Rams is the two-time All-Pro tight end from the 49ers, our friend George Kittle, back on the show. How you doing, George?
I'm wonderful.
Wonderful to hear that. Look, this may be an odd way. This may be an odd way to start our conversation when you're playing on Monday night. But what are you doing tomorrow, George? What are you doing Saturday, George? What are you doing? What are you up to? What are you up to?
You know,
anything?
I'm gonna watch. There's just one game going on.
What is it? What's that game, George? What's the game?
It's Iowa. I think Michigan goes to Iowa. Is that what it is? The Wolverines come to Iowa City, Iowa.
What a day for us to talk, don't you think? Today being that day.
I think you had this planned. I think that you're number 5. You're like, oh, I'm big and mighty. I'm cocky. I'm Rich Eisen. Let's bring George on and talk some smoke.
Oh, man. Why would I talk smoke? We played each other in the Big Ten championship game last year. Iowa's a stout Big Ten program. Think crazy things happen when Michigan goes to Iowa. I'm a nervous guy about Saturday.
You should be, Rich.
Mm-hmm.
You should be, because I think it was one of my favorite things was my senior year.
Yes.
I think Michigan was number 3. And came into Kinnick, and that didn't go very well for him. the one and the only C.J. Beathard just decided to be a Wolverine killer that night.
They're all Wolverine killers in Iowa, all of them. Going back to Chuck Long, George, going way back to even before all that. Come on now.
It's really funny. Like the last 2 times Harbaugh's been in the building, he lost as a player and then also lost as a coach.
You know, this is not information I'm looking for, to be honest with you. I'm not here to hear you turn yourself into some research nugget guy. You know,
That's not research. That's just common knowledge.
So,
I have no idea what's going to happen though, Rich.
Are you going to do you watch it? Are you going to be locked in? Like wake up, a little morning coffee, something like that? Is that what happens tomorrow, George? That's what's going to happen with me.
I'll definitely be giving. I'll be giving it a gander.
Okay.
I will be.
Okay.
We won't be at the hotel yet. You know, we're playing on Monday, so we'll be at the hotel on Sunday night.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'll have the time. So, you know, you have my number. You can text me. You can talk your smack if you want to, but I'm looking forward to it. Kinnick at Night's just a special place. You know, that pink locker room, man.
Yeah.
People play a little different.
That is true, right? That is true, right? The opposing locker room is pink, right? That happens. That's definitely happening. I know that.
It's a very nice size, but it is pink.
Mm-hmm. George Kittle here on the Rich Eisen Show. All right, let's get down to brass tacks with you. What does Rams Week mean in your world? Is it different? Is it different?
It definitely is. You know, there's certain players on the Rams you have to account for in every single play. You know, Aaron Donald, pretty decent football player.
Yes.
Pretty consistent.
Yeah.
But you know, a little bit of extra focus. You know, this is a pretty awesome rivalry, especially in the years that I've been here. You know, after last year, I know we won 6. They won the one that really matters, and definitely it's going to be a fun one this year. You know, Monday Night Football, big stage, Levi Stadium. Fans are hungry. Players are hungry. It's going to be a good one.
And it's just crazy how life works, certainly in the NFL, George, that Jimmy G is your starting quarterback again. Did you ever think that would be possible, you know, again, George? Seriously.
Not really. No, I
right?
did not. No, I was like, I think we kind of talked about it, I think, this summer, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, you know, I was like, whatever happens, happens. You know, it is what it is. It was fun. You know, it's the NFL. Stuff happens. You move on. But yeah, no, I would not have. If I was a betting man, I would not have bet on that scenario.
So how is Jimmy G back in the saddle now? Obviously, he got one game. Everyone's talking about, you know, him stepping out of bounds in the end zone. But there was a heck of a first half before the second half began to go in Denver's direction. What's your sense of Jimmy G's, you know, mindset coming into these games now that he is back in the saddle after everything that happened, George?
You know, I think it's about the same that it has been. You know, ever since I played with him, confident, looking forward to it, excited about the game plan, gets the guys going. You know, I'm nothing that we're worried about. I think he's a hell of a quarterback that's going to help us win football games. And so he has this energy around him that, you know, just kind of makes you play at a higher level, and we're just looking forward to having that.
Okay, all right. How often have you chipped Aaron Donald, George? How often does that happen in your career?
I think I've blocked Aaron like, I don't know, 4 times in 12 attempts or 10 attempts.
What do you mean? So,
Well,
I mean,
out of 10 games that we played him, I think I've put hands on Aaron Donald maybe 4 times.
how
He's
is it?
usually in the interior, which is useful.
Exactly.
Whenever
Useful
I
for,
see him on the edge, I'm like, Aaron, come on, man, go back inside.
it's about to say, but sometimes he will wind up there, right? And you're required to put hands on him. How does that go for you? How has that gone for you, George? How's that happen?
It's gone pretty well for me. I'm not gonna lie. It hasn't been like it's not one I would say, oh, I've dominated that. But it didn't go bad for me because I've seen it go bad for a lot of people, and you can kind of check the tape. It kind of goes bad for everybody all the time. I have not had one of those instances yet, so I'm going to keep that streak going.
You're going to keep it going. All right. And then what other challenges are presented? Now you got Bobby Wagner, another guy you're used to seeing 2 times a year, but he's no longer in Seattle. He's sitting right there. What challenges? Walk me through the challenge department here going into this game for you.
They've got an absolutely phenomenal, one of the best in the world at Aaron Donald. They have a probably Hall of Fame linebacker in Bobby Wagner and a fantastic corner and Jalen Ramsey. So they have guys at each level, guys that bring different things to the table, but they all bring an intensity and confidence that you need to have in the NFL, especially on defense. And so when you have guys like that out there, you have to account for them. You have to deal with them on every single play. And Bobby really brings this intelligence to him. He kind of knows every single play. He's played us. He's played our offense. And now while he's in a new system, I mean, he knows what he's going to get from us. And it's going to be just going to be a dogfight out there, honestly. That's what these games always come down to. It's a lot of rushing attempts, a lot of physicality, and so you can hold on to the ball the longest.
I love it. I do love it when you guys play each other. I'm wondering if you do. Honestly, I just know what the game's going to be like, and I know how intense it is. Now I know the history. I just know all of it, and I'm wondering if you feel the same way, George. Do you?
I do. Like I said, you know what you're going to get. It's been the exact same. Other than I think my first 2 years, I think they got us pretty good, but every game since then has been a complete dogfight. You scrap every single play. If you take a play off, it could be the play that changes the game. Your intensity has to be there every single snap. You have to have intent and intensity. Can I say that?
Yeah, please.
That seems right. That seems right. Intent and intensity, and a little bit of reckless abandonment once in a while.
Is that a Ferentz line from back in the day? Did you pick that up from Kirk? Is that a Ferentz deal?
I picked up a lot of things from Kirk, and I think the number one thing was you can't play football out of bounds. That was one of my favorite rules that he gave me.
You can't play football where? Out of bounds?
You got to play in between the lines, man.
Meaning what? Just don't do anything stupid. Don't hit anybody. What does that mean? Play out of it?
It was more of a. There's a truth in life. There's one thing that's undefeated, and you can't play football out of bounds, which is technically true. It's very hard to.
It's like don't play baseball in foul territory. I guess I don't know, but okay.
Basically the same thing.
Hey, whatever works for him.
That's a little nugget for you.
Okay, I appreciate the nugget. How did Tight End University work out for you this time around?
Ooh, it was wonderful.
Well? Okay,
I think we had 85 tight ends. It's a great number.
Okay.
Great number. But we had 85 tight ends showed up in Nashville, Tennessee. It was awesome. We had Dallas Clark, former Colts legend, former Hawkeye, came down and was wonderful for us. Learned a lot from him just about his intent while he played and his love and passion for the game. And listening to Travis and Greg Olson talk was awesome too. But just really being with those guys, and it was fun too because there's a large group of guys who weren't there last year who this was their first year, and it was just fun to meet all of them and be able to talk with them, off the field or not on a training field, and just it's fun to have guys loosen up a little bit and you got to get to know the real side of them.
George, I know you got to run, but you're one of my favorite players in to talk to in the sport, and you're a deep. Seriously, you're a passionate guy, deeply passionate guy, and I want to know when you saw last night with Tua on the turf, what was going through your mind, and what do you think what are you guys talking about it in the locker room today? Anything going on when you have a conversation at all, George?
It just football is it's a violent sport and things happen. It really that's like the last thing I ever want to see is someone on the ground doing especially after you're getting hit in the head.
Right.
It's brutal to watch, but it's just a reality of the sport that we play. And, it's the chance that you take every time you know go in between the lines, and it really sucks. And I don't know what the protocols are, or, you know, especially with all the clips circulating of what, you know, happened last week with Tua, and then he plays 4 days later. You know, it seems like a lot to me, and but, you know, as a player, you're going to do everything you can to be out on the football field, because, you know, you only get so many opportunities to do it, and sometimes you need help protecting yourself from yourself. And I don't know what that situation was. I haven't talked to anybody in their building.
Right.
It's a tough situation, especially with all the cameras and all the eyes on concussion protocols now. So now I'm interested to see what the NFLPA finds or what the NFL does, but it's tough ball, and I just really feel bad for Tua. And I'm excited for him, though, that, you know, he flew back with the team on the plane. So that's hopefully good news. And, you know, hopefully this will not be something that lingers, or he can move on from it fairly quickly. But I hope they make sure they take care of him.
Me too. George, you're the best. I would say have a good time watching the game tomorrow, but I don't mean it.
Yes, you do.
Well, I do.
You're a closet Hawkeye fan.
I don't know where that closet is, but I do believe it will be a tough one. It always will be. And look for my texts. Look for my texts tomorrow. You're the best, George. I really appreciate the time. Tough, big week for you. Thanks again, brother. At GKittle46 on Twitter, at GKittle on Instagram. George Kittle right here on The Rich Eisen Show.